Hi everyone, my name is Cahyo Putjadi. I am a MBA student at IPMI Institute. Today, I will share mind mapping of corporate finance lectured by Professor Roy Sembel. What is the definition of financial management? It is an optimal orchestration of internal and external financial resources towards significant and sustainable value creation. In this class, we divide the three main topics, which is first, business conduct, second, as management of the company from internal or inside our perspective, and then as investor from external or outside in perspective. The first we learn about is the as management of the company. From the management perspective, this section examines the internal inside-out perspective of managing a company to align financial decisions with strategic goals. The contents and objective is defining the goal of the firm, how to create value, sustainable and significant value. We learn about value creation principles using triple bottom line. Is a sustainable framework that expands the traditional measure of business success or profit to include social and environment dimension. And then the four cornerstone refer to fundamental principles of pillars that form the foundation for effective corporate governance, decision making, and sustainable value creation. These principles provide a comprehensive framework to guide organizations toward achieving their strategic goals while maintaining ethical, social, and financial responsibility. And then we learn about 5 business essentials represent critical areas that every organization must focus on to ensure successful operations, sustainable growth, and value creation. These essentials provide a framework to balance key business priorities, align strategies, and maintaining resilience in a competitive environment. We learn these 5 business essentials learn from Ramcharan is cash, profit margin, velocity, growth, and customers focus. And then we learn about imposing 6 sources of corporate values. The 6 sources of corporate values divide into 2. The first is tangible assets, the physical asset, land, building, machinery, and financial asset, cash and receivable. And then the intangible asset, motivated and skilled employees, customer relationship, organization asset, leadership and corporate value. And then the reputational asset, public support, brand or reputation. Management also governance through GCG, good corporate governance, which is learned by tariff, transparency, accountability, responsibility, independency, and then the fairness. And then we have learned also ESG, environmental, social governance principles. It is measured with tools like the balance scorecard, financial for the value creation, investor satisfaction, customer affordable price and the right time, internal business process, quality and cycle time, also the learning growth. We also understand the principal urgent problem, which is the conflict of interest, asymmetric info, and moral hazard. And then we learn about asset and liability management. For investing, we learn about capital budgeting, techniques like NPV, net present value, internal rate of return IRR, and then profitability index PI and payback period. For the financing, we are evaluating capital structure. A benefit of a debt financing is that interest is tax deductible while payment to equity providers are not. And then the tax benefit, the higher tax rates, the more valuable interest the tax shields become, and financial distress factors. volatility cash flow, startup versus established company. And then we also learn about the financial risk management, identifying and managing risk in financial operation, market risk, FX, interest rate, international finance, FX instruments, and FX market, currency, futures, and option market. And then we also learn about restructuring. We learn about case of LBO Nabisco, and then revising corporate strategies for sustainable operation. We also learn about the dividend policy. It is tax benefit for majority of shareholder. Majority shareholder who hold significant ownership in a company often benefit from specific tax advantages depending on their jurisdiction and the structure of the business. This benefit not only incentive investment but also align shareholder interest with long-term performance and sustainability of the company. And then the signaling theory also, which argues that action such as consistent dividend payment communicate financial health better than words. Signaling theory highlights the importance of corporate action in communicating with investor and stakeholder. And then from the investor perspective, we learn about this section represent the external outside in perspective and provide insight into how investors evaluate and make decisions. The key topic is principle of investment. The story and the people behind the numbers are equally important, highlighting the importance of qualitative factors such as the people and strategies behind financial metrics. We learn about the relationship between return and risk, differentiating between systematic risk or market-related and unsystematic risk, company-specific. The importance of diversification and correlation to minimize risk, developing an efficient frontier portfolio for optimal risk-return trade of theory by Harry Markowitz. And then the capital asset pricing model, CIPM, to evaluate asset returns in relation to risk by Nobel Prize winner William Sharpe. We learn about underlying the strategy, understanding the time value of money, including tools like the rule of 72, estimating how long an investment takes to double. The formula is 72 divide I%. And then investment analysis framework, including fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and financial statement analysis, income, cash flow, balance sheet. We also learn from the expert from the Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett. And last, about business conduct. This section emphasizes the ethical and risk management aspect of corporate finance, foundational for sustainable operation. The key topic is about ethics, understanding the distinction between unethical and illegal behavior, debating whether greed can be considered goods in business, and then learning lessons from historical examples of unethical practice. We also learn about the fraud risk management, the triangle of fraud, which explain factors that lead to fraud: pressure, opportunity, and rationalization. Addressing occupational fraud, abuse, and investment fraud. What is that? Corruption, conflict of interest, bribery, illegal gratitudes, and then asset misappropriation, cash inventory and other asset, fraudulent statement. We also learn about the 7 financial shenanigans: recording revenue to shoot, recording bogus revenue, boosting income with one gains, and then shifting current expenses to a later or earlier period, failing to disclose our liabilities, shifting current income to a later period, shifting future expenses into the current period. The strategies for fraud preventive, we divided 5. Build employee ethics, design anti-fraud control SOPs for suspected or discovered fraud events, train employee to increase fraud awareness and prevention, including IT security, protective security, hardware and software, whistleblower mechanism, reporting misconduct to managers of or authorities. We also learn about 4 types of incentive, recognize motivational drivers in the financial decision-making progress. The first incentive is physical incentive. This uses the threat of punishment or negative consequences to influence behavior, and then the monetary incentive, rewards or financial penalties to encourage or discourage specific behaviors, and then social incentive driven by the desire for social acceptance, recognition, or status within a group, and then the moral incentive appeal to a person's sense of right and wrong, ethics, or social responsibility. For the fraud statistic, we are using data to highlight trends and risk in fraud occurrence. We have the data. First statistic is male middle income, age 41 to 50, up from 10 years of work and graduated and postgraduated. The conclusion, the material in this class combines the 3 perspectives: business ethics, internal management, and external investor strategies to provide a comprehensive understanding of how financial resources can be managed effectively for long-term value creation. It balances financial theory with practical application, emphasizing governance, risk management, and strategic decision making. I think that's the learn we have today. Thank you for listening the explanation. We will see you later. Bye bye.